Hi everyone, it is me, Sailor Moon, and it me, Sailor Mercury here. And today we're going to talk about if we... Shit. Today we're going to talk about if we were ever in an ownership bind over ownership or double right with Toei business. And the answer would have to be no, that we were not. And why this never happened is that we never worked with anything that was their work. Now, a lot of folks are going to say, oh, there's a thing called fair work, and yes, there is. But if one's film meets fair work or doesn't meet fair work, it's always a thought and belief of who makes the work and who owns the work. So, a long time ago, we once did work with likenesses that we seeked on the interweb from sundriest websites, for either for Google or Yahoo or Bing. And yes, we did work with songs back in the day. Now, a lot of folks would say that we were lucky. Yes, we were. Because even though our fairways had gotten fake flagged for not following followership oversight, we never got flagged for double right. And we did it up until 24 between YL when we just gave up on doing that. Now, it probably is it probably was a good thing that we did stop doing all that work, because it would have just given Toei or whoever, the grounds to come in and say, well, that's our work. You're saying fair work? Well, in our belief, it didn't meet fair work. So at the end of the day, we just don't do anything that, that even if you're saying it's fair work, you might hold the belief that you've done enough to your work, but someone else might not think so. So Toei, like many businesses, may hold the belief that no, you didn't do enough to the song, or to the drawing film, or to the likenesses, or whatever. So it'd be your word against their word when it came to a double right or ownership, bind. And which, keep in mind, it's not like that and it's not like someone's going to say, oh, well, dolls. Well, dolls are trade worked. So it would be hard to get ownership or double right over every single doll that was ever made by Irwin or Bandai or whoever makes them these days. But it is smooth to get double right and ownership on likenesses or films or songs or other things. So yeah, that's why you'll never see, you don't hear any songs, you don't see nothing from the drawing shows or the drawing films, no likenesses. First off, we don't got any tools that would let us take any of that. And two, even if we did, we wouldn't do it, because it would just open ourselves up for Toei or any of their offshoots or their teams or whatever to be all, that's still our work, and your film, you didn't do enough for us to see your film as fair work. Flag. So now we don't want to go for that. Yeah, you're right, well, say some things on it too, Sailor Mercury. Oh yeah, what I was going to say is, Sailor Moon, is that's right. You see, we don't do anything in our films that someone could go and say, oh, that's my work. Yeah, we don't have any songs playing. We don't have any likenesses or take anything from the drawing shows or the drawing films, or anything that someone could say, oh, that's our work. So yeah, so the lawful team or whoever handles the double right and ownership for Toei, wouldn't have the grounds to come on and say, oh, well, Someone's working our shit again. You're saying fair work while we're saying it that it didn't meet fair work. So at the end of the day, that's why you don't do any of that stuff, because fair work will not shield you from someone out there who, even if you think you've done enough to make your work meet fair work, they're going to say it did not. So at the end of the day, we don't do anything with any other work that someone could say that. So no. But there are a lot of other folks out there who have either done work, either worked with songs or the films or the plays or whatever, or likenesses, and thought that they did everything that would make their work meet fair work. And then Toei came along and said, no, you didn't do enough to meet fair work, it's still our work. So, yeah, that's why we never been in a bind with Toei or anyone over ownership, double right, or anything like that. Well, yeah, Sailor Mercury, you're right about that. So, here's where we're going to have to end the film at. So, we know there's a lot of folks out there that were in a bind with Toei over ownership, double right, whatever you want to call it, fair work, which I guess is a thing. If you're lucky and it meets it, wonderful. If you're not lucky and it doesn't meet it by whatever standards, then you're in a bind. So, anyway, if you like this film, follow us over here at Sailor Moon for Life. What's the other film we made yesterday over here? With me and Tuxedo Mask giving our thoughts on SummerSlam. I, Sailor Mercury, I, Sailor Moon, will see you later. Goodbye.